Welcome back to another episode of Fresh and Friends. This time I'm joined with Fabian, widely regarded as one of the best Siege players to have ever played the game, certainly the best leader ever played inside of Rainbow Six Siege, 3-time world champion,
something like that.
2 as a player, 1 as a coach. And we're here today basically to talk about your career within Rainbow Six Siege. So first question, floor's yours. How did you end up in Rainbow Six Siege?
Do you remember the trailer pre-game when you were rappelling down a helicopter to the top of
on
house? Yeah. I thought that looked awesome. And the lightning was super cool and the hostage looking at the drone and all of that stuff. So I bought the game.
Yep.
And I was completely tricked. Wasn't even remotely close to that. It was a scam.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty fun scam.
Yep.
So I kept playing. I was a pretty decent Counter-Strike player. I wasn't competitive, But I then moved on from matchmaking to Faith because it was more to my liking. People were more serious. People took more care. But I was never the aimer there. So it was more of communication, coordination, making sure everything was correct.
Mm-hmm.
So basically in-game leading before I even knew what that, maybe I knew what
there
it
wasn't
meant.
A term.
But
yeah,
there was a term because I watched basically competitive Counter-Strike every day.
Okay.
So I knew the term of it. But I wouldn't consider myself an in-game leader because I wouldn't be calling all the strats like smokes here, smokes there. I wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
They're too far. But I'd make sure that I didn't make mistakes at least. So I moved on from that, played one night before I had to go home for Christmas. I had a really good time playing it. I spent 3 weeks home after that. Came back home and I saw that, they actually have a professional league here. You qualify through the Go Force. But they'd already played 3 of them, which means I had no chance of getting onto a team, first of all, and also then actually making it to the league. I didn't even know that they were going to have one. So I started playing with my friends from DayZ, which is such not even remotely close enough game, but they had started playing the game. Those were British guys as well. I actually have met them once as well. Same boot camp where I met you the first time. When we went to
Twickenham.
Because they were living around it. So I went out to see them. It's been a while since then.
Wow.
They started playing. One of them is a cheater now, by the way. You're a bad person, Will. You're a bad person.
On Rainbow Six?
Yeah, that guy cheated his ass off.
Dear me.
Yeah, terrible human being. Okay, maybe not that far, but, not a very moral one at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I started. We started practicing. We started playing the Go Force, and we started making it top 16 for season, the qualifiers, but we needed the top 8 because that was the cutoff for Pro League. We kept but we went 16th, top 16. So we didn't get enough points to go to Pro League. We also hadn't played the first ones, so we didn't make the cut.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean you stop playing because there's another qualifier for next season. And we kind of figured it would probably be the same. So we just kept practicing against teams that were either in the league or slightly under it, which then led to me playing against Chaz's old team.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those British guys, well, they're British after all, they dropped not very nice comments in the chat. I said, I'm not going to have that shit. So I said to him, it was basically, we had to have a fill-in. One of the guys had a friend, he said.
Yeah.
He filled in, it was that guy that went to all shit. And I said, if you guys are not going to stop that, I'm not going to play with you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped playing. They're British after all. You can expect so much.
I'm not rising.
So yeah, I stopped playing, and we just had played Shaz's team then when he was he was already coaching a team.
Yep.
And I said to him, if you guys need a player, I'm always available. And then I came with them, started playing, and I was probably the best player in the team immediately.
Okay.
So we started playing, and then we started playing with KS. So it was me, KS. There was a guy called Fiorenzo, who was Portuguese, and a guy called Moodens, who is also Portuguese.
Yeah.
And then we had Flowies, Lithuanian guy, lived in the UK. Very, very toxic player.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how we came to Pro League. We managed to go up against Meepy and Lackey in the final game. We had told everyone in the scene that we loved playing Yacht in competitive. Yeah, Yacht was in the map pool.
Yep.
We had never played it, not a single time in practice, not once. But we'd made sure that everyone knew we did. So everyone banned Yacht against us, except for Meepy and Lackey.
Really?
So, yeah.
So you say Meepy's got the biggest brain in Siege?
I don't know if I would stretch it that far. I mean, the guy's had a longer career than most and hasn't won that much heavy. No, I think he's a very good, I think he's a good person and good coach. I think he's a smart person. So he will definitely find another team now that we're here and he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they called us out on it. Didn't ban it. It turned out to be map number 3 in a best of 3.
Wow. Okay.
That team was called Momentum. You see, like I even remember the team name.
Yeah.
That we played against. And yeah, we came to map 3. We'd never played it once. And I just went ham on Ash and Jaeger. Dropped 14 kills, and that's when you won the game at 5 rounds.
Literally just running around.
Yeah, I mean, I just spawn peeked and did my own thing. Jaeger back then with ACOG was amazing. So I just did my thing. I killed people. That was it. We went into Pro League. We played Jonas in our first game in CISO.
Okay.
Canal. Talking about, we're pulling out all the good maps here, brother. Old Canal.
Yeah.
First round, I go up, get a 4K. We don't win another round.
Great.
And from they're going to suspect it. Flowies is starting the defuse. He'll peek around and take him down quickly and easily. Fabian and KS peek him at the same time for an easy kill though, and they will get back in and onto the diffuser with ease. The important thing Flowies has done just there was moved off the diffuser.
Defenders have disabled the bomb.
Well, you set me up for greatness there. I was
Yeah,
like, well,
they had just played the Pro League final.
okay, yeah.
There was them versus Penta.
Yes.
Yeah, with Nick.
That was with Nick on it.
Yeah.
They played like house and stuff. I remember.
Yeah,
I watched that back on my
stream.
stream.
4 runouts.
Yes.
It was insane.
Yeah.
What a day to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we loved it. But yeah, so we went up against them, and that team that we played with them was called Phoenix.
Yes.
And middle of that season came summer.
Mhm.
And as a university student, not making any money off Siege, I kind of had to go home.
Mhm.
At the same time, Firenzo and his father, they wanted to start a restaurant. So we had a reason to, stop playing.
Mhm.
We, of course, accepted that reasoning. At the same time, we also had to kick Flowies before this.
Yep.
Because he was super toxic.
Okay.
And at that point, we were only allowed to make 2 roster changes in the season. And this roster change, they were whenever you wanted to in the season. You just couldn't pick a guy who had played in one of the other teams.
Gotcha.
We picked up a player called Tank Ninjas. A week after we picked him up,
I know Time Ninjas.
he wanted to retire.
Yeah.
He wanted to go play Overwatch.
Yeah.
So we had him as a new player who wanted to retire. Firenze wanted to retire to go with his father to make a restaurant. At that point, it's like 2 players want to retire.
Mhm.
We have already kicked one, so we only have 1 transfer left.
Yeah.
It turned into no practice, nothing. I went back home to my hometown to work over the summer. I played on my 16-inch laptop, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
So because they only wanted to play for the prize pool, which was no money. Well, I mean, it was still money, but it wasn't much.
Yeah.
They said, you know what? Use the transfer on me. I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not having it. I'm not content losing. Even then, when there was no money involved, really, just not content.
Mhm.
So I stopped, and they just didn't find a replacement. So they forfeited the entire season.
Okay.
Which gave every team we had played 3 points.
Mhm.
And that's where there came in a bit of controversy, because we had played Penta and we'd drawn against them.
Back when draws were a thing.
Yeah, because you played 2 best of 2.
Yeah.
So we had taken a point of them.
Yep.
Of course, people don't talk about us also winning games, which we had taken 3 points, those teams that actually got 3 points. But yeah, so after that summer or during the summer, Penta wrote to me and asked, hey, would you be interested to join? I said, yeah, sure, I would be interested. I had to also announce that I'm going to retire at that point. I'm just done. There's nothing here to do,
Yep.
They asked me and I said, yeah. And I said, okay, we will be running trials. And I said, I'm not running trials. Either you pick me or you don't.
Yeah.
Why do you think I said that? Because I was sitting on a 16-inch laptop at home. I had 40 FPS, bro. It was terrible.
If you'd played Trials with Penta, you wouldn't have got it.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, play mind games. They knew how good I was when I was at my actual computer. So yeah, they picked me up straight away. No trials. That obviously then caused controversy because Penta had gotten 2 points because I had joined them after it. So people were thinking, oh, you've left middle of the season, but that wasn't even remotely close to the truth. They even ran what's it called when they check up on things that if it makes sense.
Like an investigation.
Yeah, a third-party investigation from ESL.
Right. Okay.
And obviously they came to no conclusion because there was nothing bad. It was actually Tank Ninjas and Skok, the French caster.
Yes.
He was one of the ones. Those 2 were the 2 guys that were pushing on it.
Okay.
Nothing came of it. I was actually really close to Skok before that. I was one of the supporters when he was sitting on 10, 15 viewers. I was there in his chat when he was talking French.
Yeah.
and then, people turn, then
People
stay
make
away.
decisions, yeah.
Since then, he has apologized for it because, he figured out that it was wrong too.
Mm-hmm.
But, you burn a bridge, you burn it. Or at least that's how it works with me most of the time. You're an exception.
Thank you.
How many bridges have you burned with me? Fuck,
A lot.
Yeah, you have fucked me over so many times.
Didn't come to G2. Left Delta Project. There was at least 2 roster moves could have happened that are probably unannounced and never will get announced.
No.
I didn't come to PSG Talon.
Like 5 times. And still I'm here. You know who's the loyal friend in this group? Between the two of us?
Hey, you left me twice on the desk. I didn't come to G2 twice, actually, thinking about it. Because you asked me
Why
to come...
did I leave you? Because I didn't get the contract that I was told I was going to get.
Okay.
And then I left the desk twice because, you're going to have everything you want, Fabian. Doesn't get everything. Okay, well...
Let's not open up that kind of worms.
Yeah,
You did ask me to come to G2 the first time you left the desk, which was like kind of when you ended up replacing Shatte, and then right again before SI. That's the one where it nearly happened. And then you got Titan. Then you made Titan a world champion. And I'll never forgive you.
Titan is not a world champion. He is a support staff to a world championship roster. However, he was never on the official roster, and he does not have the world champion watch that everybody else does in that team.
So if I joined the roster, I wouldn't be a world champion.
No.
I
would have never been one anyways. With you, we wouldn't have won it.
That's true. I tell everybody that.
Yeah, but they're clueless.
Right, anyway, roll it back. So you joined Penta.
Yeah, joined Penta, played like 1 or 2 weeks on my laptop, went back to my university town to play. And that's where things kind of took off.
Was that paid?
No. The roster back then would have been me, Pengu, Sai, which I think could have been one of the absolute best players in this game if he kept playing the game.
Yep.
Tornado Toby, who is one of the worst players I've ever seen in the game, and an absolute, honestly, single-digit IQ.
Really?
Yeah. Single-digit IQ. And who else did we have? We had one more player. Was it KS already at that point? I don't think it was.
I remember KS being on Penta pretty early.
Was it Jonas, maybe? I think it was Jonas.
Okay.
Yeah, it must have been Jonas. So we had that roster. After 2 play days, it was when they cut off that you couldn't take players from other teams.
Okay.
2 play days passed. The day after, Sai and Tornado Toby announced to us, we are going to go pro in America's Army, the video game.
Yep. With the currently thriving esports scene.
Yes. Tornado Toby was the team captain at this point.
Okay.
And I just said to the others, okay, well, you don't need to come tomorrow for practice. I said, we weren't going to come tomorrow anyways. Okay, well, yeah, you're not welcome anyways. So we kicked them on the spot. And Sai could have, in my eyes, been probably the best player. Like, him and Jonas were, like, at that point, like, cracked. Insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. I mean, not putting me and Pengu aside, I mean, we have the long careers. Jonas has a crazy career too, right?
Yeah.
So it's just what could have been, but now we can't look back at that.
I mean, it still was pretty good, right?
I'm not going to complain for myself, but he's the big what if in a way. Like, he's one of the really like big what ifs in Europe.
You regret it for him.
Yeah. I think he could have won SI with us, with no issues. But him and Toby were like this, so yeah. The Germans. I'm just putting all the like countries like in groups here.
I actually chuckled when you said Toby because that was a call out. You had a call out of Toby.
I know.
On Penta, obviously G2, because I came into G2, I was like, what are half of these call outs? And there was Toby in all, I don't want to say weird positions, but it was like positions where there wasn't a clear call out, right?
Yeah. So we have had a tendency in old Penta to make call out of shit players.
Yeah.
So when there was a shit spot, we named it up for one of the shit players who sometimes played it, or we saw them there.
Great.
So Toby, yeah.
And anymore?
No, they don't use it anymore. I don't know if the current G2 uses it. They didn't when I was there coaching. No. But me and Pengu definitely will know that call out.
I remember it was half wall on border one.
I think it was.
Because I think I caught Pengu saying it in a cast once, and I understood what he meant, but nobody else did. And I was like, he's dated Toby. Like, what? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But they retired, and we had to pick up 2 new players. Do you remember Fricke?
Yes. Croatian?
Yep. I screamed at him the last game. We'll get into that. Like,
Okay.
we have so many good stories here. Like, this episode is going to be long.
Buckle in.
Do you remember Aiga?
No, but again, somebody else with call-outs. Call-outs
Yeah.
of Igo as well.
Similar reason. He was going on about, like, he used to play with and Lens and Enemy,
Yeah.
Revan,
Yeah.
Panics.
Yeah.
Those guys was
Okay.
who he was teaming. He was not French though. He was Czech.
Okay.
And he would like there was this clip of him calling himself, "I'm the best passive aggressive roamer in Europe," and we were like,
Oh, okay.
"What the hell is a passive aggressive roamer?" It no sense. But I mean, each to their own. They make their own reality.
Yep.
And yeah, we had no other options. Players that had experience at just I had Pro League experience, and Fricky had just underneath, but I wasn't with a team, so because nobody wanted him. So we had to just go for the best thing we could.
Okay.
And yeah, Iga tried to take control of me from the team, and I just shouted at him. It's like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?"
Yeah.
And basically made him into a little puppy. He never tried it again.
Okay.
Then Fricky, I had this on Shatte, and if you ask Nick, he's going to say the same thing. We were 2-on-2 or 2-on-1, and we were planting in kitchen, and the enemy was in trophy,
Yeah.
and Fricky was in West Main.
Yeah.
So the guy could have just swung our planter,
Yeah.
and it was literally 2 seconds, like the clock was just like going down, and Fricky was just standing FK in West Main holding an angle, and I'm like, "Push, Fricky, push!" And he just, and we lose the round against
Gotcha.
Playing Ducks with Meepy again,
Oh my god.
and they go to the event. That's the
Right.
one where they lose. I think they lose. Yeah, they lose the grand final
Right, okay.
against Canadian.
Yeah.
With Continuum, like this is long time ago. We're still in year 1. We're continuing the story. This is just building up. And again, we retired. Me and Jonas just,
Oh, you was done again.
yeah, we couldn't deal with it anymore. We were just done. Both of us retired. Just like we were putting in too much hours. Me and my girlfriend at that time, we broke up. You know, the standard thing is I need to focus on university again.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting $100 a month. Like, what's the point? So, yeah, we're done with that. We
We've had a camera crash, but keep going.
okay, yeah, we just were done. So we retired, and Pengu joined up with Siskat, with Youngtis
Yeah.
under Penta. So it was Pengu, Siskat, Spoken. I think it was Renshiro and Yogurts.
Okay.
All legends of the game in my eyes. Hey, they are legends in the game now, man. They won a Pro League season. Not many people can say that. Pro League season back then
We're
is a
back.
major today, no?
Absolutely.
Yeah, or at least that's what I say.
Yep.
I mean, that was the equivalent of it.
That's the best thing you could win at the time.
Except for the Six Invitational, of course, that we
Yeah.
didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
But they were qualifying for that. I think they failed. I don't remember who made it there. Continuum won it. Yeah, that's how that ended. And then after that season, like after the winter stopped, you know, like you get over your breakup, I said to Jonas, why don't we just make it?
Yeah.
Everybody sucks. We don't even have to practice.
Just play.
We just play because we know we're better.
Okay.
We can get the best players if we want to, because we are
Yeah.
we are known to be some of the best European players.
So at that point, you'd left Pengu.
Yeah, me and Pengu and Jonas all left each other, or me
Okay.
and Jonas left Pengu, and Pengu then found another team.
Yeah.
I said to Jonas, yeah, let's make the team. And how do we get the Pro League spot without qualifying for it? Well, we have to convince that little Danish idiot. But he was already with the team. Just there was no roster lock here, and there was nobody who signed over the contract to them. So I manipulate him. I trick him. How else would I do it? But whilst I also say that I manipulated him, I also faced him with the truth. You're the only non-French in a French-speaking team, or English-speaking French team.
And as we see with a lot of teams, especially where they're multi-language like that, it's
Yeah.
about the team that's the majority that generally will control the power. And
When things go wrong, you're going to be flying out of there faster than fast. What else that will never happen.
Yeah.
Because you would be a core member, like me and Jonas.
Yeah.
So that's how we ended up with it.
okay.
I tricked him back, played on all his insecurities. I told him the truth, but it's still
I mean, you
somewhat-
work with him on the daily basis now. So.
Yeah, it's manipulation, but at the same time, it's telling him what he needed to hear to understand it.
Yes.
He joined us. We also got we were trying a lot of really good players. I remember that like we were looking at Saya again. We were looking at the Rainier, if you remember that guy. He won year 1, season 1.
Yeah.
What was the guy with playing Recruit Shield? Was it? It was something Bear. Was it Cuddle Bear or something like that? Really funny name. Or like he was a really good Recruit Shield player with the 5/7. Like you wouldn't believe. Like if you think a Shield is a terror today, you should have seen him with the. Because when you lean with the shield before, it was like all haywire.
Yeah.
And he would do that with the 5/7, like 20 bullets and nothing, and it was like a machine gun.
What?
Yeah, like that was the sickest thing ever. Like it honestly was incredible. You couldn't kill them. And that one with shield were shit. And they nerfed it, which maybe was a good thing. But yeah, so we tried a ton of players. We got to Pengumi, Jonas, KS got picked up. He had played with me in Phoenix, so we knew he was decent, at least for what we needed. Then we picked up Goga as well. Goga came out of nowhere. Do you remember Crip? Spanish player.
No.
I don't know if I won, but he was best player in G-Bots by far. Spoke English. He actually went pro in PUBG after. He was the guy we wanted. He was, honestly, I think most people consider him the best player in Europe at that time. And we're talking like year 1, season... Well, actually, year 2, season 1, we're talking now.
This has been like a whole year, basically.
So we're talking about after the SI that Canadian won with Continuum. And Necrox and
King George.
King George, Jesus Christ, he won an SI.
Yep.
Anyone
100% success rate.
Honestly, let's put it this way. Anyone can win an SI these days. Alema won one. King George won one. Anyone can win one. Anyhow, yeah. So that was the roster. And then he didn't want to play with us anymore.
Okay.
He wanted to go PUBG, I think. And he said, pick up Goga.
Okay.
So we trialed him. And he said, we're not going to find a better guy.
Okay.
And I mean, he was just good enough, you know. He was a good fragger, but he had like 50 hours of game time at that point. I'm not even kidding. He had 50 hours of game time.
Wow, okay.
But he was a good shot. Then he turned into a hard support. So he messed up early. He didn't even play 100 hours and he was already stuck on that. Poor guy.
The true hard support.
Yeah.
The original.
Literally. But yeah, I mean, that's 4 out of the legends, right?
Yeah.
5, you can count KS to a certain extent. He won 2 pro.
He was a big part of the early success, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And hadn't he won one with Pengu beforehand?
No. We didn't treat KS very well. Every team will have it sometimes, especially when you have toxic people like me and Nick. We were very, very hard back then.
Yeah.
We kind of treated him like a team bit, but it was never something we publicly spoke about or anything we mentioned to each other or anything like that. But when there was blame to be passed, there was always the KS.
It fell onto him.
Yeah.
Kind of irrespective.
Yeah. Some teams have that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just reality of how, hierarchy.
Yeah.
A lot of it was definitely not deserved. But, I mean, he managed to win 2 Pro League titles. So, obviously a good enough player.
Yeah.
After we'd played 2 seasons and we won the first 2, the first one we went to Katowice and won. We came there without extra headsets on because we didn't know we needed our own microphones for practice. And there was no private practice, it was just rows with tables of computers. So yeah.
Wow.
We played Flipside Tactics, which was mint and hot and cold, East Peas, Lemon Squeeze, Silchi. And one more play that I don't remember.
Wow. This is like 8 years ago now.
Yeah. 2017 is this.
Yeah.
We practiced them on border. We beat them without communication. That's when we knew.
Oh, holy shit. You were playing without mics in practice and you... Zero comms.
0 comms. Right in team chat.
Fuck.
Armory take. Archives take. On border.
Wow.
We didn't need comms. We were that good. At that time, we were that good.
What made you better?
Smarter players. Better mechanically.
Yep.
And we had gathered... Like, whilst I would say KS was a team bitch and like he was getting a lot of shit, he wasn't at the same level as we were. He just wasn't. He was more nervous. And mechanically, he was probably not at the same level.
Okay.
He was a good player, don't get me wrong. Like, he could easily be in Pro League for many years after this.
Yep.
But he wasn't at that level. Yep. Which is also why we replaced him later on, but we'll get there. So we had just mechanically overloaded team.
Yep.
And a smarter team, and a more adaptive team, and a more studying team. We had so much passion. Like, I don't think that there are many players these days that have the same passion as we did back then. Yeah. Because we kept up for so long.
Yeah.
We studied everything. We knew everything. You couldn't make a move without us knowing. So yeah, we were just better in every way. We beat them in that practice, and we were like, hey, this is going to be a really easy.
Yeah.
We win the first game. I don't even remember against who. We win the second game. I think that was V3 Masters, which was Kamikaze. I don't know if Psycho played in that team at that point.
The Brazilians.
It's the team that turned into NIP. And then in the grand final, we go up against Black Dragons.
Okay. Yep.
That team would later turn into Liquid.
Yes.
It was Nesk. It
With-
was Sigueira. It was
that the one
Bullet.
when one of them had like blue hair?
I think that might have been Nesk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
I
remember the legendary Nesk 1v5 Oregon basement clip? He just goes 1-on-5 with, I think it's Valkyrie, and he blasts the shit out of
Yes.
everyone.
Yeah.
That's just before this event
Right.
in
okay.
Brazil.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, these are the best team in the world. They're so good. They're Brazilian. They're coming in. They're going to show everyone how it's done. Because just before, this was the first LAN for them. Before they got a team to SI, which was Font, which later turned into FaZe.
Yep.
Yeah, we went up against them in grand final. Everyone's like, Nesk is the best player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
5-1, 5-0, game over, see you later. Before the game, we had an interview, me and Sigueira. And Sigueira is a massive YouTuber for Brazilian. I don't know if you guys at home don't know about him, but just Google him. Really good guy.
Zig.
Yeah. Was very good back then, and so was the rest of their team. But we just knew everything that they were going to do. We knew every single move. We knew everything that they were going to do. And before in the interview, I get the question, do you have anything to say to your opponents? Matt Andrews was there. He answered that, and I said, it's always a good day to play the second best team in the world. And at that point, I'd already won the game.
You are a little bit like that. You are a bit of a, use everything to your advantage. Because you said something very similar, if I remember rightly, in Brazil, in a Pro League Finals in Brazil.
I put really hard pressure on FaZe.
Where you said it was something like it would be embarrassing if they lost on their home turf.
Yeah, I've said it like it would be
You'll
embarrassing.
remember it
I think it would be embarrassing if they lose. Everyone in here wants them to win.
Yeah.
I'm not the one breaking their hearts if they lose.
Yeah.
They're basically just like pushing all the pressure on that everyone wants FaZe to win. You guys have to win. You have no other option. If you don't win, you'll be hated.
Yeah.
And I remember that last round of that event as well.
Yeah.
You put your ears out and you go, silent. It was that quiet in the arena.
Wow.
It was amazing.
I've only experienced Brazil once, which was SI last year, and that was bloody loud. So
yep. No, this was silent.
To make that quiet.
Yeah,
incredible.
That was hilarious. And there was a lot of Brazilians in that arena, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That was like a basketball arena for like the Olympics or something like that. So it was massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get there too.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, we are.
That.
Yeah, so we beat them absolutely no chance. We go to Cologne, we beat everybody again. And that's where we find out we're underpaid. We're underpaid a lot.
So was you still not being paid at this point?
$100 a month.
Okay, so minimal token payment.
Yeah. But we had won a crap ton of money, or at least what we consider crap ton then. I mean, still a lot of money, but it's not. Well, after taxes, it's not as much as you'd like it to be. But basically, I had made a little bit more than my entire salary for the last summer's work back home, where I worked 6 days a week in I don't know, I wouldn't call it gardening shop, but we buy like the planks for building your own.
Like a utilities.
Yeah, a hardware shop kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'd made slightly more than that, where I worked 6 days a week for every single week entire summer. I did that in 2 weekends.
Video games.
Playing video games.
Yep.
So yeah, when we came to negotiations with Penta, they were like, yeah, we can give you guys a raised salary, 400 euros. It's like, I'm going to give you one counter offer, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You take it, or I'm going somewhere else, and I'm taking the entire team with me. 2K a month, a brand new computer for all of us, gaming setup, full of it, so with gaming chair, all the peripherals we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
We agreed. I mean, we were golden egg. What else could we have been?
Yeah.
Penta was.
They saw that you was on track to.
Yeah.
So you went from 100 a month to 2 per month.
Yeah.
Plus computer, plus everything.
Yeah. So, well, quite a big upgrade. But 2K is not a big salary if you think about it. That's pre-tax too.
Yes. Yeah. Of course.
So it's not that much. But it's a decent chunk for playing video games. We were definitely making the most in the world at that point.
In the
Seed.
infancy of the
Yeah,
esport,
yeah, yeah.
It's good, yeah.
After that, we went to Brazil for an event, and we crashed out against Black Dragons in the semifinal. We just played poorly. People got nervous. We had picked up Blast. Do you remember the Hungarian Blast, not the French one?
Yes.
He was our analyst at this point.
Okay.
And we were arguing back forth, like during the boot camp. I basically told him to go fuck himself because he started talking about how he should be playing instead of me, how he's done more for this team in his 2 months there than I have ever done with just the Pro League finals. And basically, yeah, I said to him, you're kicked without, like, it doesn't matter what happens, you're done. You're out. We had lots of problems during the boot camp, and then nerves hit when we came to the stage. That's where we decided that, hey, we have an opportunity here to get Shatte that just won this event.
Yeah.
He was together with Kanto. Shatte had been there longer. He had been more consistent. He had been there a very long time. Kanto was his first season, kind of unfinished project. So we picked up Shatte, we go Six Invitational, and we have a really good tournament for the grand final. 2018,
Yes.
the best Six Invitational ever. Grand final comes up. It is the best event. Like the grand final, like you have...
Last year was also good.
Last year was number 2. W7M coming back, that grand final, like the final map was good.
But
It's not the same story.
There was also a bit of a rivalry, right?
Yeah,
between you.
Yeah.
What were they? Evil Geniuses at that point? They were.
Yeah, they were. They were. You were.
With that roster with Canadian and Necrox and Young and so on.
Yeah. And that game was just, we got nervous. Like genuinely, we were really nervous. We had practiced Cafe one time, and we were so afraid of their Skyscraper because we didn't play Skyscraper. But it was a best of 5, so we only had 1 ban. How do we get around this? And we thought they had hidden Skyscraper all the way to the ground. No, that's what we thought. So we banned Skyscraper. And our thinking was as follows. They're not going to pick Cafe first.
Yeah.
They're going to pick it second because they have a favorite map. I don't even remember what it was. So they're going to pick Cafe second. But at that point, we will at least have one. At least have one map because we picked one of them. So we would be down 1-2, and we're okay with that.
Yeah. So you were somewhat already planning a 3-2 victory.
Yeah, that was where we were expecting it to go. If we were 2-0, we have to be realistic. It's not how it played out. Not at all. We went 0-2 down. And then we're going with Cafe. Brother, we have never played that map.
The map you're expecting to lose, you're 0-2 down, loading into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Somewhere out there on this internet, there's someone from Ubisoft. I don't know who it was, or there was someone who was working for Ubisoft at this event. They filmed us backstage from above, from the stands.
Yeah.
This is where I have, in my eyes, the most important motivational speech of my career.
Yeah.
Because I just push the boys and like, we're not out. We can fucking do this. Do you guys want to fucking lose? I don't fucking want to lose. I've come all the way here to win. And we go into Cafe. And we just swoop them up. And we have no idea how we did it. But because at that point, nobody played Monty on that map.
Yes.
But we did.
Yes.
We split it out. We was like, we have one of the best shield players in the world. Why wouldn't we? We can do something that is so unorthodox that it just works.
Yeah.
And it worked. And we came to Bank. And we played really well. We were a good Bank team.
Mm-hmm.
It's our pick too, so we were really happy with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember that game as much into like small details as I do. CEO attack. 1-on-1 me versus Necrox.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing Monty.
Okay.
And I planted on top of the desk.
Yeah.
In CEO. And we take the 1-on-1 gunfights, and I ADS with Monty, and I just go ham, and I win. And I think this is like when it's like 2 or 3-2 or something like this.
Yeah.
The kill. Gonna take this slowly. Here comes the smoke. Fabian gonna need to try something brave here as he possibly goes for a plant. Baiting it out, goes for the ADS. Necrox can't hit his shot, and Fabian wins it. How does that happen?
Look at how animated all of Penta is. Necrox could have just simply ran out of time there and played it smarter, but decided to...
And it, like, the adrenaline that goes through my body. I was like, boom, and then boom on Jonas's hand, and he's like, oh,
Really?
yeah. He's like, I had his hand hurt, and like when I punched the table,
Yeah.
it started bleeding.
Oh, holy shit.
I
Middle
was-
of our grand final.
Yeah,
What?
it was just so much adrenaline. Like, I just start screaming. And it's just like, yeah, from there on bank, it's our map.
Yeah.
Done and dusted. We go and beat them of it. And we come to coastline and we go 4-1 up.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, the game is over.
Yeah.
It just wasn't over.
They pulled a couple back, right?
Yeah, they pulled 3 back. 4, was it 5? I don't remember. We were up, so we had match points, like 3 match points. One round I remember specifically because I got so angry at Jonas for being so stupid. Rook is spawn peeking, hook a window. Watch out. Take the long angle and get the kill. Do you think Jonas did that? Or do you think Jonas got spawn peeked?
I would assume he got spawn peeked.
He got spawn peeked.
They can just simply go in through an open doorway. They don't have to really worry about a window. Canadian, a spawn peek, really? The glass goes down. That'll open things up. And EG taking gambles that pay off. You gotta think that'll hurt their push.
And we knew he was spawn peeking. And it was so fucking frustrating. So we had into overtime.
Yep.
And I mean, that clip is also one of the like most legendary clips in the game in my eyes.
Fabian is on flank watch from above. You can expend one down, but wow, NBK eliminates Jonas, and that smoke, you cannot see through it. Amidst the smoke, you can see the plant going down. Fabian gets Necrox, who goes on the flank. Shatte uncontested. Diffuser goes down. Now EG will need to retake the site. But Young trading off Goga. Fabian takes NBK down. BC, it's 2-2. It's Pengu and Fabian left. 2 of the best known players on that team. Their captain sufficient, Fragger, Fabian down, it's Pengu, the Ash just waiting, or rather the Hibana just waiting. They'll look to push together. The Diffuser in a position where they'll have to see when the Hibana goes through. One will cover the doorway as they start to defuse. Pengu goes for one on the Young, can he go the second? They're often known as the best team in the world, never having that distinction until today.
We cleared top floor. We're going from blue and from pink bar to pull out in kitchen. Yeah, and I'm just calling, I need this player here, I need this player here, we're going for this push. And we throw the smokes down, we have glass on Jonas, and I think they kill Jonas through the smoke. And Shatte just, I'm gonna black! So he runs straight into
He's
the
on
kitchen. Ash.
Yeah.
All the way deep sink.
Yeah.
And I have top floor, I have the flanks, don't worry about that. All
Yep.
that shit is mine.
Yep.
And because chaos erupts, of course, when they kill Shatte, they kill Jonas, they kill Goga. It's
Yep.
2-on-2, me and Nick versus, I don't remember who, I think it was Necrox and Young. And I just get smoked. I get absolutely smoked. And I'm like, I don't even see
He
him.
was in courtyard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get smoked. And then we have a drone on site, and we count down for Nick, and he just goes, he does the stupidest play.
He plays it wrong. I tell him this all the time.
You know what?
He peeks
Fuck
them.
you, Jack. He played completely correct. There's nothing he could have done better. I am so proud of him for that play.
He peeks them.
He peeks them. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's looking back at him. But,
He also peeks them with
Brother,
Thundering 9. as well.
brother, is that not the greatest play in history?
Pengu, the Ash just waiting, or rather the Hibana just waiting. They'll look to push together. The Diffuser in a position where they'll have to see when the Hibana goes through. One will cover the doorway as they start to defuse. Pengu goes for one on the Young, can he go the second?
I'm getting chills just thinking
Yeah, like,
about that play. You can see it in your
I'm
hands.
tearing up. I'm
Yeah.
getting like still through my bodies. Or through my bodies. I only have one. I mean, I'm fat enough to have 2 maybe.
The body inside of those
Yeah.
get chills as well.
Little Fabian. No, just insanity.
Yeah.
Absolute cinema. And that's where the dynasty started, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it started before,
You was
but
building up to
now
that
there
match.
was a dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And then we have one more event. And I don't remember if we even qualified for that event. Because I remember next event is Paris Major. Was there a final between that?
Yes, I think there was. So Paris Major anyway.
Yeah.
You was G2 at that point.
Yeah, we got picked up the week before.
How did that happen?
We didn't know who we were picked up by.
Okay.
We had an NDA where we said just other org.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You had no idea it was G2.
Yeah, we had no clue who it was until we had signed the contract with them. And that was not league. That was one of the big pickups. Like, that's one of the massive transfers, right?
So, Six Invitational 2018.
Yeah.
You then played Atlantic City.
Atlantic City,
And
we
then
lost
Paris
the
Rangers.
grand final. Okay,
So let's go into Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
Because I feel like that's a story.
Yeah, this
Kanto?
this is a massive story.
Yep.
Because I'm going to probably put something out there that's never been put out there now. You're
Okay.
going to... I'm fucking treating you today, Fresh.
I know.
Atlantic City. We go to boot camp, and we're supposed to have Shatte with us. He played the entire stage with us. But he tells us to come to TeamSpeak, and he's crying.
Yeah.
He's saying that his grandmother is really bad, and that he cannot go to boot camp. We are like, okay. And he says his mother needs to go to see her, and he needs to take care of his mother.
Yeah.
Because I think she was a single parent to him.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember, this is many years ago. We asked him, can you boot camp from like, can you play from Finland? Can you take your computer with you? He goes, no, I can't. It's a 4-hour train ride. I cannot do anything. So we fly to Berlin, and we have contacted ESL, and we have contacted ENS because they did not qualify. And we said, can we take a loan for Kanto to come with us? Because we need a 5th player.
Mm-hmm.
That is sorted out. I think there was a loan fee. I don't know exactly how much. Doesn't really matter. I think they paid some part of whatever we won went to ENS.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if were they ENS at this point or GIF still. It must have been ENS because otherwise we wouldn't have had to loan a player.
Yeah.
Because GIF is not an org, it's just name.
Yeah.
So we loaned Kanto in from ENS, and he comes to boot camp the same day. Same day, Shatte goes live on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he says that, okay, I'm not needed just yet. So we're like, fine, whatever. Okay. Next day, he goes live on Twitch. And then that keeps repeating. And at that point, no matter what goes on in your personal life, we just lost trust in him. It's like, at least like you tell us the truth, but to us, that felt like you just didn't want to go. He was quite a homebody. He wanted to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do that for an event, that's no longer in our interests to work with. We have always been teammates first, friends second. And we will get back to that when we talk about Goga, because this career is long.
Yes.
There's plenty of stuff here to break down. So, yeah, it just, we can't trust him anymore. So we decided after we played Atlantic City, we will buy Kanto out, or we will ask Penta to do it for us.
Mm-hmm.
We come second, of course.
Yes.
We weren't expecting to win the final. I mean, we have a substitute. We shouldn't be. Liquid at that point was a very good team. They were really good with Ying and
Lion.
Yeah, Lion. We couldn't even bat. Oh, Jesus Christ. That fucking gives me nightmares.
Yeah.
What they were doing, they were always playing Lion, which obviously everyone was allowed to do. Everyone played Lion every round because it was just that broken. And I was an old Lion, so not the one that pings you today. Literally, you got full outlines. You got wall hacks and people.
Yeah.
And they would play that with Ying. Do you think you could do anything?
Yeah, no.
No. And they were very good at it. Then they beat us in the grand final, fair and square. They wouldn't have done it without Lion, I'm just saying. But no, they would straight up, they wouldn't have. They won it. We knew that we were going to lose it because the last round was 1-5. I tell to the boys, guys, we all know that this game is over. We're going to stand up. We're going to give them their time. We're going to applaud them. We're not going to break apart. Like, we're not going to break down. You know, like some teams just like, oh no, we lost the grand final. Yeah. First thing we do after we lose the grand final, stand up, we clap our hands and give the win to them because they deserve it. They were a good team.
Yeah.
I have no regrets about that.
Okay.
Events. Like, you know, sometimes it just happens. We couldn't do more. We had a sub. We had 5 days or something like that with practice.
Mm-hmm.
So, Penta refuses to buy out Kanto.
Okay.
Yeah. We just won them 2 events. We won them on SI. No Kanto.
Yep.
So the players buy him.
Oh, you paid it own money.
We bought Kanto out. We as players decided that he was valuable enough to us that we want to have him in our team. So we as a team bought him for Penta. Which then they probably made money on selling him to G2.
Yeah, I was just thinking that period of time was very short between... Yeah. Wow, okay.
Yeah, so we bought Kanto out.
Yep.
And that's how it went. Paris Major is next.
Yes.
Paris Major is next. We've never played better Siege. I have never played worse individual Siege in my life. Event's over. We absolutely smacked everyone.
That event is the most non-event in history.
Yeah, because it wasn't even an event. It was just a showcase for us.
It was a show of force, yeah.
Yeah. I remember going up to the bands with Shaz because it was always me and him.
Yep.
I mean, we were in their head at that
And
point.
again, I suppose this is something that the people at home might not realize is they see that a ban phase on the analyst desk or anything like that, the mental warfare starts there.
Yeah. I mean, we're laughing. We're having fun.
I remember, just slightly going off topic here, but I remember going to ban phases with Shas, and he used to be like, and we'll ban Clubhouse. Oh, and this team that we're against, they'll pick Oregon. You are picking Oregon, right, guys? Because we're expecting you to pick Oregon. Oh, and when they pick Oregon, they'll start defense.
Yeah.
And the other team will be like, huh?
Yeah. It was a mental game. We had already won at that point. Game was over. Didn't need more. 6-2, 6-2, 6-2, G2.
Yeah. Nice and straightforward.
Yeah. Nothing to it. We just demolished it. Everyone. Nobody can stand in our way. Except ourselves. But we'll get to that later. After that, that's when I think we failed to qualify.
I
don't remember
no,
what
Pro
the-
League Season 8 Finals, Rio.
Rio.
Yep.
Oh, I win that event.
You do win that event.
Is that against FaZe?
It is against FaZe in Brazil.
Yeah, as we said, we play amazing Siege. Yeah, I completely demolished them in the pre-game interview. Like, put so much pressure on them.
Yeah.
Even though they are the ones who shouldn't have any pressure because they're going up against literally the world beaters.
Yeah.
And again, I think we demolished them. I don't even remember the scores, but I think we absolutely smashed them. There was nothing standing in our way. We beat a Brazilian team in the quarterfinals that I don't remember who it was. And what I do remember from
beat
that event.
SSG, Reciprocity. Oh, wait, no.
No,
I'm on completely the wrong tournament here.
Yeah,
How
I was
got
like,
that?
huh? I don't remember beating
That was
SSG.
SI 2019.
Yeah, I was thinking
You beat Immortals.
Immortals.
Then
yeah.
Fnatic, who had beaten Evil Geniuses, with
You-
Dizzle playing.
You know how fun that was. Like when we were standing there off stage when they were playing against each other, and Aces
Aces, yeah.
jumps out
The shotgun.
the window on Oregon Armory,
Yeah.
and he just blasts like 3 people, and we're like, let's go out, let's go out. We're so like, obviously the rivalry is massive between us and
Back on the FO12 again. There we go. What? Dives on one. He finds the second. Aces with the double kill. And Fnatic are closer and closer. He's still on the outside. The FO12. We've seen Livin do this on Millennium. What are you doing to North America right now? Absolutely shredding them. Neo with one more. The Ash taken away. Aces will drop him, but not enough to finish off the Ash. Wait, careful, boys. Last man alive is Necrox as MVK is on the floor. It's looking. Oh my God! They did it! They've done it! A double 8.
I remember watching that live back as a fan, and I'm just like, Penta G2 EG is coming up. Like, this is the big thing. And then that happened.
Fnatic was also our main practice partner at every event. Nobody else wanted to practice
I
us because
remember.
everybody else saw us as the opponent. So we practiced Fnatic every single event.
Yeah.
I don't remember what event it was. Maybe it was Six Invitational 19. We played in Clubhouse Bar 20 fucking rounds in a row.
Really?
Defending Clubhouse Bar because we needed to figure out, is this bomb site playable?
And they agreed to do that?
Yeah, they were attacking 20 times in a row.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Especially with it being G2 and Fnatic as well. I know obviously the
Well,
team dynamics are
You know,
different. but
yeah,
that's-
like honestly, they were very close to us. Like
yeah.
every event we played with them. And we don't see it as the rivalry at
No, of
all
course
because like they're a different region, they're different caliber. Let's be
Yeah.
real. They gained more than we did from it.
Yeah.
But we were able to test things.
You had the flexibility to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nobody else wanted to do it anyways against us because they saw that we would just pick them apart.
Yep.
So we go that, and can you check the scoreline for FaZe? I think we demolished them, right?
6-4, 6-2.
Yeah, so 6-2 second map. Like they
Unsurprisingly, you banned Lion both times.
It's a big surprise. I think we banned Lion every single map until rework.
Yeah. You did.
No surprises.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. Simple final.
Yep. Straightforward.
Thank you. Good night.
2018 was a very good year, though.
Yeah, great. I mean, all 2017 too. 2017, 2018, and 2019. I mean, on my own say, like, people, you guys on desk, you guys are idiots. You guys talk about the fury of W7M dynasty. They're fucking nothing to this. Nothing.
Is there an argument that the level of Siege is harder now?
No. There's no argument to that.
Okay.
Because the Siege at that point was the hardest the Siege has ever been.
Okay.
Like, this is like talking about football players that were great in their time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played at that level because that's what the level was at.
I suppose for me, and this is a conversation we was having last year in Brazil, wasn't we? Because, on the desk, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
The one thing, that I will say, from my point of view at least, is the Penta G2 era, you was a level above everyone else.
There was nobody remotely close.
W7M won every single event that year, but they were the same level.
Yeah.
They just won all the tournaments as well, which I suppose in a way puts them above, but on their day, anybody could have beaten them. On their day, not everybody could have beaten that Penta G2.
Nobody,
in fact,
honestly,
rarely,
nobody
you
could.
take EG maybe, but...
We beat ourselves more than we beat
Exactly.
than other beat us.
So, we go from Rio to SI 2019, which you also win, so back to back.
We're struggling before this event, actually. This is where the struggles kind of begin to take shape.
This is the same roster as well. No roster change. Pengu, Eunice, Goga, Fabian, Kanto.
Yeah, honestly, legendary roster that.
Yeah.
No problems yet, or well, small problems starting to brew. Mostly that is like people not wanting to learn more anymore. They're kind of stuck in their patterns.
A little bit of complacency.
Like not willingness to adapt anymore. And mostly on Jonas. I mean, there's a reason none of us in the old roster speak to Jonas.
That relationship has completely broken.
He decided to cut all ties with everyone, and we'll get into that. I don't even remember exactly when we replace him, but I think it's before Raleigh Major.
Yeah.
Because we have Uno in Raleigh.
It was before I joined as well, which was slightly after Uno.
We go to SI19, and we're not having the easiest time. Is that where we lose one map to Mockit, the Villa, like 1-5 to begin with the event?
No. Group stage was 2-0 against Mantis, 2-0 against Mockit.
Okay. That was Paris we lost.
Where you guys had adversity?
SSG.
SSG.
Yeah, massive problem.
I remember that Villa game, particularly on...
I think we won 4 attacks, which was
unheard of. Yeah. 3-3. Yeah.
Like, you won 1 attack then.
Yeah.
But we just gunned them down. Reciprocity, I remember as well. The Skies and Laxing. Terrible player. Terrible analyst. No. He's actually very good. He was very good as a player. He was very smart.
Yeah.
He was a bit of baiter, but he was a very good lurker. Like, he would be sneaky as shit.
Yeah.
And I honestly think he's really good on the desk. So
he is.
Yeah.
He is.
I'm just being
I was very sorry, I'm taking this away from you, and you are the topic of this podcast, but I was very pleasantly surprised by Laxing when it came to talent work. I didn't think I was going to like him, and he's one of my favorite people.
I think that he had the reputation to be very egoistic, like big on himself. Whilst he is slightly that, I also think he's very down to earth.
He's the most lovable person ever.
I mean, it's not that he's like an ego. It's more that he knows who he is. He doesn't accept bullshit.
Yeah.
Which can be seen to the outside as an ego.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's not though.
Yeah. No, he's great. But you beat them.
Yeah, simple. They were absolutely terrible. No, but we actually, that's one of the games that I also remember very vividly. I think that they had like so many nightmares about us. Like they thought so much of us, which I can understand at the point, right? Like hard to come up against that roster in the semifinal and expect yourself to win. But we had said before the game, like no matter who wins, the other team's coming on stage and getting a thank you from the audience. So after the game, I tell them to come out on stage, and because that was also in NA against an NA team, and they got to take their final goodbye for that.
In Montreal.
Stage. Yeah.
And even them against that semifinals, they'd beaten Evil Geniuses to get there.
Yeah.
Again, another EG G2 game that we was denied of.
Yeah. But they deserved it because they were starting to become the newer pattern of how to play the game. And I think this is when EG kind of fully burns out.
Yes.
Things don't go well from here for them.
Yeah.
Grand final. That freaking coastline game.
Longest game in Siege history.
Fuck yeah now.
Yeah.
What a game.
So just for people that might not have ever seen it, and honestly, I wouldn't recommend going back and watching it because it is a war attrition even as a viewer, and we'll get onto you as a player. G2 end up winning that game 12-10. This is when unlimited overtime is first introduced in the grand final. and you hit overtime on coastline.
Yeah.
And you keep trading out rounds, 1 for 1
I
for
think
1
you
for 1.
won at 6 rounds still at this
Yes.
point.
7.
Was it 7?
It was 7.
Okay.
So current rules, 6-6, and then it went all the way to 12-10.
Yeah, and we
So
took
almost another entire game. 1-1,
yeah. It was crazy. In the end, I didn't have any more calls.
You was out.
Yeah, like we had all of our strats used, and it was like obviously we have the core, like we have the idea of kind of free flowing on something.
Yeah.
But at the end, it was just, guys, find scabs with drones. We need to find something. We need to find what they're not holding. That's what we're taking.
Completely on the fly.
But we were also good enough to do it, you know? Like, you have a base plan, but the base plan is just a guideline. You never really follow it because something will throw you off it.
So many variables,
I
right?
mean, there's a reason they have the saying, like, a plan never goes past the first enemy or contact with the enemy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't, because they can just do whatever they want and they have their own plan. So yeah, I remember one round very vividly.
Mm-hmm.
It's me and Nick in a 1-on-2.
Yeah.
Or 2-on-1, sorry. Blue bar, pink bar defense.
I remember it, yeah.
I'm on second floor in hookah. Nick is outside pink bar on the window.
Yeah.
The enemy is in blue bar, and we know he's in blue bar.
Pink bar, sunrise. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sunrise bar.
I mean, it's a pink bar, so
Yeah.
And Nick jumps in the window to plant because I have the rotation hole from the hatch above.
Yeah.
And we also have a drone in what I call jungle, which is like kitchen hallway, whatever you want to call it. Like not the actual long hallway, but the one by the aqua stairs, cool stairs, they call them. And so we had full information. Yola starts screaming, "He's jumping out blue to C4! He's jumping out blue to C4!" So I leave my rotation hole to go cover him on blue.
He comes rotation.
Yeah. And C4.
Yeah.
And I then win the 1-on-1 clutch. I drop down with SMG-11 and just go blast the guy's face in. And Pengu was fuming.
Really?
He was so fucking angry. And even though it wasn't my fault, because I'm just following the call that I'm given.
Yeah.
You will see in the end round kill cam, I will be like, "Nick, that's my bad. I fucked up. That's my fault."
Yeah.
Not because it was my fault, but because I needed
You
him
just
to
need to take responsibility of that
I
situation.
needed to take responsibility so that little shithead would calm down.
He's had a fantastic round so far. Pengu is lit up, and there's only 25 seconds, so this is definitely winnable. Pengu's waiting for Fabian to cover him, so allowing for the plant. The nade comes out to deny one of the rotations, and it'll detonate, so the denial no longer in. C4 from Karzeka, he has information, and it lands! Pengu goes down! There's only 9 seconds, and Fabian's going for the rush, but Katie lands the shot, yes! What a round from Fabian! And G2 keep it going. Back to match points.
How much of this can your heart take? This feels like the 5th map.
Yeah.
This is the first.
Yeah.
Because you and I both know he had a massive ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a massive ego too.
Yeah.
But my ego was external, not internal.
Yeah. Nick has certainly mellowed, has it?
Oh
as
yeah,
he's gone
definitely.
up
It's a completely different human.
significantly. Yeah. Yeah. And you needed to take responsibility in that moment
Yeah. Or it was
to
over.
bring him back down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your mentals and the team would have.
It would have been over.
Okay.
I don't even remember the second map.
I will find out. I remember a bank, but I think that was
Bank
the
is
final map.
last.
Yes, border.
Nah, I don't remember it at all. No clue. No, doesn't come to my attention at all. And Bank, we just rolled them over.
Yeah.
Kanto drops like 12 kills. I think
I
I dropped
remember
11
running
kills
in
talking
London.
about Kanto
Yeah.
being the greatest player. And it's like, bro, he's too fucking good. And I'm just sitting there, one kill below me, and I was like, fuck, okay, I guess that wasn't good enough. Yeah.
Do you think whoever won that game was winning regardless? in
No,
that best of
I
five?
don't think so, because we all play enough maps in a day to continue playing. You know, at that time, 7-8 maps was not unheard of.
Okay.
And 7-8 maps is longer. Yeah, you have breaks, but when you play ranked, how often do you take breaks?
True.
Yeah, you just keep chugging and
Okay.
you keep going. I don't think that it was over. I think it was a mental shocking. Yeah, sure. Like you have to reset. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they did, but it was not decided. Not decided.
So you win that.
Yeah.
Back-to-back Six Invitationals.
Yeah.
What's next? Because the next event is Milan.
Yeah, we don't qualify.
You don't qualify to Milan through European League at the time
I
where
think lose to the Stream or
top two,
Empire.
the Stream and Empire both qualify.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Stream
who we
that has
lose to,
Alpha
I don't-
on it. Yeah. You finished third place, 3 losses,
I think we lose by round differentiate, don't we? We did lose by
points. The Stream had 29 points, Empire 32, and G2 had 21 points.
Okay.
Just trying to find out who you lost to.
I think we lost to the Stream. That's
You lost a secret that season
motherfuckers.
with Meepy, Leon, Stiz, Alems, and Fonkers.
Funkers.
That was the secret who ended up getting relegated that year, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
but they also won Allied Minor, no?
You drew with Penta, lost to Ents, drew with Empire, you beat Chaos 7-0, drew with Lestream, drew with Lestream again, and then pretty much beat everybody else. Lost to Secret again,
Funkers is insane, bro.
drew with Empire, beat Chaos 7-5 this time, and drew with Navi. So a pretty bad stage, all in all.
Yeah, as I said, the problems had started, right?
Yeah.
This is when we replaced Jonas, I'm pretty sure.
What were those problems?
Jonas is, in my eyes, a good person, but he had problems with being told what to do.
Okay.
If someone told him what to do and he didn't agree, he would simply just not do it. I don't know if there was something else going on in his life at this point, but it was just like really, really hard to get him along to do anything. Like, you remember he was an entry fragger, like was just insane with shooting. But he would peek everything. And I remember, I think it was the draw on Clubhouse against Lestream, where we had put him on support roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he dropped a 0-11 game with like 6 entry deaths on Maestro and support.
At that point in time, yeah.
And it's just like, brother, what are you doing? And he was just like, you cannot get through to him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we decided that it was time for Jonas to depart. I mean, if we're really brutally honest there, he went to Secret after.
Yes.
Do you remember the cafe game that is like spoken about a lot when he played for Ants? He played Maestro again. He didn't place his barbed wires. He didn't put out his evil eyes.
Really?
He was basically like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wondering, maybe something was tough in his life and we just didn't know about it. He's Finnish. He doesn't speak much.
Yeah.
I have no contact with him since then. He cut all ties with everyone because he felt betrayed. We had conversations over a very long period of time with him that he needs to stop peeking everything. He needs to stop being so aggressive.
And this is one of the things just coming on to this. People that were in your teams had very, very upfront and honest conversations.
Yeah.
And I think given the opportunity to improve as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't just we hear it a lot of time in current Siege and in current life where teams just kick and it's quite blindsided. That never happened with any of the people that you removed or the team removed.
If you look at it realistically, the only players we removed because performance-wise was KS and Jonas. And we're talking a 5-year period almost. Because Shatte was removed for personal reasons, as we said, like not trusting him.
You lost the trust.
Yeah, and if you lose the trust, you can't work with someone.
Yeah.
Well, get to Goga, and that wasn't performance-related either.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only 2 players we replaced under my entire time there. For play reasons.
And crying. But I guess
Crying
we'll
was
get
after
to that.
Goga.
Yeah. But we'll get to that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's not many players considered the spirit or like the time span.
If you look at some of the teams these days that have had
more players to replace in a season.
M80 have had about 15 players this year.
Yeah, that's impressive, honestly.
So Milan finals.
Yep.
You do not attend.
Yep.
I suppose not in the world. You've won
to
everything.
be fair, who wants to go to Italy?
I went.
Yeah.
I went to the finals. You pick up Uno, who at that point was the star fragger for the Stream Esports.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we could get anyone we wanted.
And you did.
We got Uno. We wanted Uno. Smart player, mechanically talented, intelligent in game, additional calling community. Simple as that. And Raleigh Major comes next.
Yes. Where you lose the final.
We lose the grand final, and I will tell you, this is where it continues to fall off. We had never, ever been a better team in the rally or in the history of the team until the grand final. You can look at our results, and we were dominating, absolutely destroying.
2-0 in groups.
Yeah.
You beat Cyclops Athlete Gaming,
Of course.
7-1, 7-3. And then you beat Team Secret in the winners match because it was GSL Gaps. You beat them 7-3, 7-3. You then go through to quarterfinals against TSM, 7-4, 7-3. Play fours, which later became VP. 7-2, 7-2. Then you get the grand final, where you lose 1-3 to Team Empire.
Yep. But that is so as dominating as it gets.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, we had never played better Siege. Grand final comes along, and this is where things really go wrong confidence-wise. Not for me, and I will get into it, because we are very open, or at least this is, of course, my point of view. Like, in the Coastline game, I'm telling Kanto that we're going to play Dokaebi and Lion. He's going to go and play Ash, and I want him to just go and shoot the shit out of them. Because none of our strategical approaches are working. We need gunfire and we need gun skill. I will be right behind you with Lion every single round. Goga is going to drone us. Nick is going to cut off angles like he always does. Uno, you find where you can be useful.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to hunt people. Single out who we can single out.
Just try and play the number element of it.
We're going to fight the shit out of them. He tells me he can't. He tells me I cannot do that. And then we lost the game. Not because of that, of course. But I lost trust in him at that point.
Okay.
Because you cannot tell your in-game leader when you are a world champion and multi-event winner that you can't do it. You just can't.
So something switched in Kanto in that grand.
Yeah, I mean, I was a very hard in-game leader. I probably had shouted at him early in the game. And this is something we will get onto later, I think, when we talk about mentalities. But I think that the reason our roster worked so well before is that every single one of us in that team had a lot of experience with real-life sports, real-life experience, having jobs. Everyone knew how much we gained from this that we would not have had ever in a normal job. Yeah, Kanto didn't have that experience. So I think that I broke him.
Because he came into Rainbow Six Siege, 18 years old, first job. Yep.
I broke him, I think, by being too hard. And had it been a player who had that real-life experience with having had responsibilities in a normal job, I don't know if I would have. Because none of the other players broke. None of the other guys had problems with me being very hostile, very aggressive. If someone didn't do what they were supposed to do, I would fucking shout at them.
Yeah.
I was probably the loudest guy, never at the opponent, because I don't see the point in screaming at your opponent like the Brazilians.
Yep.
But I would scream at my teammates if they didn't fucking do their part.
Yep.
I kept everyone responsible to the highest degree. You don't win games by being the best team. You win the games by doing the least mistakes.
Yeah.
And I didn't accept mistakes. Because a mistake was something we could have trained out.
Yeah.
When you tell me you don't have it in you to win it, then I can't work with you.
Because you felt like a defeatist.
Yeah, it was defeated. Yeah. He was defeated.
Okay.
And that's where break number 2 comes.
Okay.
Now there's a massive rift.
Okay. With Kanto on the team, with you.
Yep.
Kanto stays on the team, though.
Kanto stays on the team. There's no better fragger in the world, brother.
You carry on in 2019 after that event, and objectively, you can look on this period from G2 and Penta before it. You've won basically everything. One lost grand final. It's a bump in the road. It's nothing more.
It's not, but it's mentally a bump.
But mentally, that's where the crack had appeared.
Yeah, no, it started in SI 2019.
Yeah.
It continued in the year of 2019.
Yeah.
And it just kept getting worse.
Yeah. So
Montreal DreamHack 2019.
Okay.
I don't even know if there's a Pro League event between this.
There
Tokoname?
is, yeah. I only looked at S tier. Give me 1 second. I was only looking at S tier events here.
I don't remember if there was an event between this and after.
So
There
there
was probably some event that I forgot about. Some Pro Leagues finals that I just don't remember. I think it's Tokonami.
Tokonami,
Yeah, we didn't qualify for that. Were you with us then?
Yes.
I remember, yeah. I mean, we're going to get into that discussion because I think it's very interesting from the people's outside view to see how you
DreamHack
came
Montreal 2019,
Yeah.
September. Yeah, so it would have been DreamHack Montreal. Yes, it was. Shaco's return.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had a very tough group. I mean, some of the best teams there.
Yeah.
And it was the same defeatist mentality as BDS in the second game.
Okay. So this is after Rally. You then experience it for a second, maybe a third time.
And I go berserk. I literally scream at them for an hour. In the back halls of the arena in Montreal, I scream at them for an hour.
Okay.
That I'm not putting in the effort, they're not showing the passion, they're not showing me anything. And I'm not going to fucking have this.
Yep.
And we're talking screaming. I had the highest demands in the world. There's nobody who have had the same, I think.
And I think, like, obviously everybody understands and knows your persona and knows you as a person.
Yeah.
And assumes you're like that, but I don't think many people have really seen that side of you.
No.
Because that's very, like, closed doors. That's inside the team.
Yeah, I would never do that in public.
Yeah. And this probably, when you look back on this now, this probably compounds that, especially when you said you broke Kanto, that probably compounds it.
I mean, I push on them harder. I need more. In my world, because I come from real life sports, I played sports my entire life. I mean, it doesn't look like it now, but before esports, I played sports all year long, every year. And in floorball, whatever you want to call it in English, like the indoors ice hockey, whatever, that was a team captain of all the youth teams.
Yeah.
That's how I motivate my boys.
Yeah.
I push them. And if you don't work hard enough or you're not performing hard enough,
Yeah.
I push you more.
Yeah.
And I'd rather break you and rebuild you than have you shit the bed.
Yeah.
And Kanto was shitting the bed in my eyes. And in his eyes, I was probably the worst person on this fucking planet.
Yeah.
And probably in other eyes too.
Yeah.
Because after this, we get the pit invites to SI 2020.
Yeah. So there's a couple of events between, actually.
Is there?
Tokonami.
Yeah, we didn't qualify.
Failed to qualify. Yeah. This was when I did join the roster.
Yeah.
In the middle of that season. I think it was either just before Tokonami or just after.
I don't remember. That's another internal conflict we're going to get to that people probably don't know about much.
About how I ended up
How
joining
you ended up
G2.
joining.
Yep.
When you shouldn't have.
Yeah, I think that's very fair to say.
Yeah.
Yep. OGA Pit. So I knew you'd. So
that's an event.
At this point,
yeah,
this conflict is building with Kanto.
Yeah.
But it's actually Goga that ends up being removed.
Yeah.
By the way, for me, this was more or less my first or second week on G2, and
when Goga was removed, was it this early for you?
I just joined G2. I was like, cool, I'm joining.
What event did we go for that for? Because we went to another event before that. That's where we met up in a hotel somewhere.
No, that was the boot camp. I didn't come to OJ Pit, but the boot camp for OJ Pit.
Yeah, but there was some. No. The Goga was removed before this. Maybe it was he removed before you came?
No, it was like the first week. Like the first week I joined G2. And
Yeah.
I'm like, there's Pengu, there's Fabian, there's Goga, this is the Dynasty roster. And I was sat in TeamSpeak because I had a full-time job at that point as well. So I was like doing the full-time job, coming on for scrims in the evening and catching up on what you had been doing during the day. Whatever. And it's like 2 a.m. I was like, yeah, I think it was you, me, Shatte, somebody else. And obviously it wasn't at that point in time, but you was like, Goga's got to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. No, I put down my foot. It was me or him.
Yeah.
And this does not come from play style reasons or friendship reasons. Well, it kind of comes to friendship reasons, but not in the way that you would expect if you hear that and say, oh, we kicked him because he wasn't our friend. Goga doesn't have any intentions to play anymore, so it doesn't really matter if I talk about it. We had very strict internal rules.
Yeah.
I still hold them to this day.
With your current teams?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I tried with G2, that didn't work well when I was coaching them, but we'll get to that too. For example, full focus on events while you're still in them. There's no alcohol, there's no going out to the bar, there's no going out talking to friends. You're not friends with them, they're your opponents. You are a shadow and a ghost. You don't care about anyone, you don't care about anything except winning.
Yeah.
Goga had a tendency to be popular with women. Raleigh Major, we found out, I think it was when we were in Montreal then, that Goga had been seeing a new woman, which turned out to be a long-term girlfriend later, but those were the rules. You're not allowed to see women you don't know at events.
Yeah.
So Goga met the woman there, and he went every single morning to her Airbnb, and every single night he was out with her at the bar.
Okay. Was this unbeknown to you, or was this?
I did not know a thing.
Okay.
Had I known it the day one, I would have stopped it, and it probably would still be with me. He continued with this for a long time. We confronted him with this, well, like the entire event, we didn't know it. We confronted him with it, he lied. He said he had not been doing such a thing. For the first time, me and Pengu didn't share a room. He shared a room with Pengu. Pengu said that he had done it every single night, every single day. At that point, I will take the word of the person that's saying what he's doing instead of the one that we know has a history with women. There's a reason the rule is there in its first place, and it's not because of any of the other players. So yeah, he was breaking internal rules that you shouldn't be breaking. You should have full focus on the event. He simply did not. This was not the reason why we kicked him. Part 2 is next season comes around. Do you remember the Giants had 2 rosters? Spanish
Yes.
organization,
And the
Giants
French
move. They had the former Stream roster, and they had the Spanish roster at the same time playing in the Spanish Nationals.
Yes, they did.
They shared boot camp facility.
Yes.
We were informed by one of the international Giants players that there were links to scrims versus them on the boot camp computer the day that they arrived. They were bookmarked in Spanish in one of the computers.
Oh,
From our point of view, specifically from Goga, against them.
so Goga's POV.
Yeah, against Giants themselves, but
Against
the
Giants.
international team, where he had shared our internal VODs to an other team that was his friends, the Spanish Giants.
Yep.
I don't care how good friends you are.
Sharing VODs is a big no-no.
We confront him again, because again, you know how much we believed in open and honest conversation.
Yep.
And honesty is key.
Yep.
If you're open and honest and you tell the truth, most things can be forgiven.
Yep.
He denied it again.
Okay.
And that's where I cut it.
Yeah.
I am not going to have a player in the team that I do not trust with the most important thing, which is the integrity of the team.
Because as soon as you don't have that foundation,
Yeah.
gone.
It's my rules, or I'm gone. Goga didn't follow them, and he had to be removed for the greater good, which sounds very much like propaganda, even though it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had no choice. I had no choice. Logically, my entire brain set this way. It has to be, and that's why it was.
Yep.
Goga is one of my best friends. I love him. I mean,
You teamed with him again?
6 months later.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that, because there's a big event in between. Or there's a small one first, OGA Pit.
Yeah.
We pick up crying.
We pick up crying.
He was dropping kills, bro.
He was insane.
He was dropping about 15 frags a map.
Yeah, he was. He really was.
Do you remember how many packs or how many kills he dropped in official stuff? And how many mistakes he made?
It was bad.
He was shitting the beds. He was the oldest
Do you
player in
remember
our team. He was 31.
the-
Or he's 31 now, and I'm 30. So he's 1 year older than me.
The very first game he played was against, I want to say BDS on Bank. It was on Bank. I can't remember the.
That maybe was the league after the
yeah,
season.
yeah,
after.
the league.
Yeah.
Oh, because he played OJ Pit
Yeah,
first.
and
that
he
was
was
his
so
first.
nervous, and he was so
okay,
scared, and we
it
were
was the
like,
league,
we
yeah.
just shrugged it off that it was nerves.
OJ Pit went like shit.
I gave him a monitor that pit event.
He did?
Yeah, because
Because
the
that
practice, the practice room had 27-inch
27s,
monitors, and
yeah.
I was like, I can't play on that. I've never played on that in my life. I want a 24-inch monitor.
Yeah.
So I went and bought one at the shop
I remember.
to practice with. And then, because Kyle had no money, I was like, he was like, can I have that monitor? I'm like, yeah, I should take it. And then he took it home.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think we only played one game and went out.
Yeah, again.
I think it was Immortals.
Brazilians.
Immortals, I'm pretty sure. They were a good team, to be fair. I mean, I don't remember what players it is.
Something, I think it's what became MIBR, which became fuck knows.
But I'm pretty sure
Was Philippe?
Cyber was in that team. He's
Yeah.
fucking insane. That guy's nuts.
I have a feeling Philippe was there, but that could be wrong. I remember something went wrong in the prep for that game as well.
That I don't remember.
No.
I think we got the wrong bans.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
We got the wrong
Shaz
bans.
picked the wrong map.
Yep. We ended up playing Clubhouse, and we'd done the prep specifically. We was like, these guys love Clubhouse. Do not play Clubhouse.
and Shaz picked it.
We played Villa Clubhouse.
I
I'm going
don't
to check
remember.
this.
Shaz fucked up the bounce.
Sorry, chefs.
It happened. I've never
Of course
done
it does.
I actually did with G2 when I was coaching them. But
Oh, you did.
I had the grand final, but I took it as, so like, we were asking like, which map do you guys want to play? And they took it as, which map do you want to ban? So then they said the map that they wanted to ban, and I heard that that's the map they want to play. Because we were already true to the major, right? It didn't matter. The game was was just a seed game. And I heard the wrong thing because I picked it up, I said, which map do you guys want to play? And they said, oh, we want to play Oregon, but they wanted to ban Oregon. It's Carl, and shit happened.
So it was MIBR.
Yeah.
It was when they become MIBR. 7-1 on Villa, which was unbelievable count analysis. I don't know who did that. Me.
Probably me.
No, it was me, because I remember telling we should ban Legion. We did ban Legion and we battered them. It was great.
Yeah, congratulations.
Then we picked Clubhouse. They picked Clubhouse. We didn't ban it.
Brother, I have to go. It's 18:30.
Shit. Okay. Shall we pause this?
Yeah.
And pick this back up? Because where we're going to pause this is OGA Pit has just happened.
Yeah.
Cryan has just been picked up. And we will continue this in the
we'll
future.
We'll continue. I'll come back in a few hours.
For part 2, part 3, part 4, whatever it is.
This is going to
Okay.
be a long one, but
It is.
hopefully it's good content
This was
for